Happy New Year, my YouTube friends. Welcome to Questions from the Truck number 39. Thanks for all your questions. I hope you all had a great New Year and bid 2020 a farewell. Actually, today is the last day of 2020 that I'm recording this video. The next time you see me will be in a year. Let's get to the questions. My first question is from Brian over there at Iron Horse Route D&RGW. Brian wants to know, will I use DC, DCC, or DCC++? DCC and DC, but what is this? DCC++? I don't know. I don't know, Brian. Something like that. Whatever it takes. And will my switching be hands-free? Yes. I am not putting in any tortoises or anything like that. I think I'm going to put in the caboose ground throws. That's what I think I'm going to put in. And that's it. Thanks, man. My next question is from Digger Evans, Model Railway. What's up, my friend? He wants to know the maximum speed of freight trains and passenger trains here. Digger, I had to do some searching. I know on CSX, their max speed around here in Philadelphia area is 40-45 track speed. Looking around, Norfolk Southern, they have two different ones. Maximum track speed that I could find is 50 miles for freight, but 60 miles per hour for intermodal trains. They run them fast. UP, I think, and BNSF, they run like 60, 70 miles an hour. I don't know, man. Them trains look like they're flying out there in the west. Guys, let us know. If some of you guys I know are engineers and all, let us know in the comments below. And passenger trains. Amtrak. I do know, I see Amtrak trains. I have Amtrak has a tracker website, and you can see the trains that are coming and the miles per hour that they're traveling at while they're en route. And the fastest I've seen for some trains is like 126 miles an hour. But usually I see them when you're passing by me in these videos, they're probably doing like maybe 107, 90 miles an hour, somewhere in there, 90 to 107. Thanks for your question, my friend. Be well. And my next question is from, let's do a double here, Korys AKVR and Humanity Junction. And the only reason why is because you asked the same question, but that's okay. Plans for 2021. Model train goals or resolutions. Just maybe lay track and maybe get trains running. Really don't. I'm not on a plan, you know. Things happen when they happen. But yeah, I would like to get trains running sometime in this coming year. We'll see what happens. What's your plans? Thanks for your question, guys. My next question is from Norfolk Southern Productions. He's got a couple for me. He wants to know, do I have a name for my layout? No, not really. Plans for 2021 railroading. Yeah. I'd like to go to Cass out in West Virginia and maybe some places in between. And who knows where else, but that is like my big main goal, I guess. maybe in the spring or the early summer. I don't know. But yeah, it's where I want to go. Other than that, really no, but more great Railfan, and that's for sure. Different places. His next question from me is Wilmington Western. Why did they take the 92 out of service? Because it needed work, boiler work, and all kinds of work. And I think I think that's one of the main reasons. It needed boiler work and needed its It's annual, 1462 or 72, something like that. So that's going to be out for a while. And model railroading, new or used stuff? Both, man. There's nothing wrong with used stuff. I buy used whenever I can find what I'm looking for, and it runs and works, Nothing wrong with that stuff. New or used, good stuff. Thanks for your questions, buddy. My next question is from Mystic Southern Railway. He wants to know, what is a team track? Well, a team track goes back to the early years of railroading. A team track is it can be for either one or multiple businesses on a line that don't require the railroad moving their cars around. And it gets its name from the research that I did from the horse and wagon days, when the horse teams would go to this central area that is around businesses and back their wagons up to the trains and unload their cargo. Now it's trucks. Trucks can go to a area that necessarily doesn't butt up against tracks, businesses, but there's businesses close by this track that gets service from the railroad, but not this type of service that requires the railroad moving cars around, switching cars around for them. I don't know what they call that. But that's what a team track is, man. Thanks for your question, and I learned something too today. My next question is from Bob. Pk&WRR ModelWerkx. He wants to know, is it possible to sharpen router bits, the Carbide router bits? I'm saying Carbide, but because they're expensive. Yes, you can, and no, I do not. That was his question. His second question: can I do a demo? I don't know how to, dude. I don't sharpen them. I might touch them up real quick, and I'll show you that in a video tomorrow. I'm going to go to the shop, New Year's Day, and I'll show you what I do, but I don't know that it does anything. There's businesses that do it. You can send them out and get them done, especially these profile bits. I don't want to mess them up, so I just send them out. And same thing with saw blades. Good saw blades, I send them out. A couple bucks. That's all it takes, man. A couple bucks. Unless you got hundreds of them, then yeah, I can see where it would be expensive, and it'd be good to learn how to do it. But we'll be back tomorrow, Bob. And that's going to do it for right now. We'll come back and get to Bob's second part of his question, show him a little demo that I do, and another question that I have. And I know I got another question, but I got to find it. See you tomorrow. So for Bob, sharpening router bits. So, this router bit is messed up. It's done. It's no good. It's got chips in it. If it has chips in it, you're not sharpening it. It needs to be ground, and then it's going to change its profile. Okay. But I mean, and like I said, I don't really sharpen my bits. I just use them and get rid of them. But if you just go on your stone, go on a diamond stone. This is a diamond stone, and you see the slurry that's coming up. Put some water on it. You need diamonds to sharpen carbide. Just count them. Obviously, you would clean off. You need to clean your bits of all the debris, but you can kind of see where it's. Can you see? I don't think my phone's going to focus very well. You can kind of see that edge that's coming up. And you just keep it flat. Count the number of times and do the same on each side. So if you do it 20 times, do it 20 times on the other side, just to keep your profile the same. Does it work? I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't really sharpen my router bits. If they're bad, I just, like this one, I need to replace it. This one, need to replace this one. But this stone can help you. I can't see, you know, I use these bits a lot, and unless you're doing a lot of hardwoods and things like that, I can't see you ever needing to sharpen a carbide router bit. I can't see you running that much material through it. But I hope that helped you, Bob. Let's see. Let me do this. My next question comes from IsThisSteph. Seth wants to know, what's a good brand model, what's a good engine manufacturer in N scale? Nowadays, I think, you know, if you're talking newer models, I think they're all pretty good now. Obviously, some are a little better than others. Brands like Kato and the new Atlas and scale trains, they might run a little better. Some guys might say they don't. I don't think you can go bad with any of today's modern N-scale locomotives. It's just my... I don't have a layout really that I run trains on. I have engines. That doesn't mean that they're good because I haven't ran them. Okay, but you just look around the big brands, Kato, Atlas, Bachmann. Even Bachmann nowadays, the Spectrum series is pretty good stuff. Hope that helped you, Seth. Thanks for your question. My next question is from Sean McGee. Right? Yeah, Sean McGee. Sean wants to know, his wife does burning. I guess, I forget, with the pyrography, something like that. And she's doing a lot of walnut. And he wants to know, what is a good finish for walnut? Oil. Oil or wax? So I'm going to show you something here. Let me flip you down. Yeah. So this is black walnut, okay? And I was just messing around. This thing's been in my shop for a couple years. So you see it's got a couple little dingy dings in it and little scrapes. A good thing about oil and wax, they're both easy to repair. So depending on how much you're going to handle this project, this thing that she's making, and that is going to determine what type of finish. If you did, if it's something you're going to handle a lot, I would just use this like a spray lacquer. If it's something you're not going to use a lot and you really want the beauty of the wood to come through, because walnut is just a beautiful wood, right? And oils tend to bring out more beauty in it because it kind of like ambers the wood, and it just makes it warm. It gives it a warm feel to it, a warm look to it. Oils are nice to touch. They feel good. I can't remember what I have on here. I'm pretty sure all I have here is a good furniture wax. And this is a good one. Brie wax. How is that looking there? I don't know if it looks backwards. Brie wax. Brie wax comes in different shades. Hold on. I don't know if things are backwards, but Brie wax and most good furniture waxes you can get in tones. This is dark. It's I think it's called dark brown, which would mimic a walnut. And I just leave a rag in there. And the good thing is with wax, you can touch up the surface really quick, right? There was like a little mark in here, and I just touch it up. You gotta let it dry. But a good oil or a wax, and if you're something that you're going to handle a lot, just spray it with like a lacquer, or you could get like a varnish, an oil varnish, and spray that. Shellac is another thing you could use, but that's what I like for walnut. Hope that helped you, Sean. My next question, Dave's Trains. He wants to know, do I use a biscuit joiner? No, I do not, Dave. I don't have a biscuit joiner. There's just a lot of reasons why. For me, a biscuit joiner just doesn't work for what I do. I like, not everybody is going to... This machine is a Domino by Festool. It's $800. You're not going to buy this machine. Basically, it's a biscuit joiner, but what it does is it has these tenons that you can get for it, okay? And the machine puts a mortise in your work, okay? So basically, it's a mortise and tenon. So it fits in like that, and your pieces would go together like that, okay? It's strong, okay? It helps line up panels when you're doing panel glue up and you want them all to line up. And that's basically why you would want a biscuit joiner. There's really no strength to a biscuit. Dowels are better than a biscuit because you have a dowel, you know, and a plug, a hole, you know, and you're making basically a round mortise and tenon with a dowel. But the key with any of these machines is to mark your surface, right? Let's see. You gotta keep your references the same with these machines, okay? So on here, I mark an A and an A to keep the ends lined, you know, to keep my ends right. You always need some type of a reference line to go from, okay? And that is always the face that you're referencing your machine from. That's the important part. You can't flip this around and use the backside as a reference and then the face of the other one for a reference. They're never going to line up. So you got to keep track of that, okay? And the other thing is settings. You have to have your machine, whether it's a Domino or a biscuit joiner, to the surface. You have to put pressure to it, hold it down flat, and plunge in with it, okay? That's the important thing with any of these machines. You have to reference from the same face. Mark your faces so that you can realign them together. Again, I just do an A on both of them in a corner, so that tells me that that's the only way that these pieces go back together. Your reference line, and that's basically Biscuit 101. That's how basically you get good results with a biscuit joiner. If you have problems, it's usually operator error, okay? You're not keeping the machine, the fence and the base flat to the surface and engaged into the wood, into the project, you know, the piece you're doing. I hope that helped. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask. Well, I hope that helped, and that's, I think, let me look over my questions, but I think that is all my questions for this episode 39 of Questions from the Truck. I thank you all for your questions, and if any of you have answers to any of these, please feel free to put them in the comments below. Check out these channels. Sorry for the light. And hey, Happy New Year to you guys. I hope 2021 is a great new year for all of us. Be well, be blessed. Until the next time. See ya.